Coming up on this episode of School Sports News, a look back at some of the cricket, water polo and mountain biking action from around the country. The School of Excellence take the 1 million rand Sanlam K Motsepe Cup on penalties. Hat-tricks and hundreds at the Cape Schools Week. A behind-the-scenes look at the making of handcrafted Black Widow cricket bats. And we preview some of the big rugby festivals taking place over Easter next year.
The final round of the Western Cape Spur Schools Mountain Bike League took place in Stellenbosch this past weekend, where hosts Paul Roos clinched the regional title by beating out Montana and Parel Valet by quite some distance. Janus Base pipped fellow Paul Roos rider Dean Morgan by just 1 second in the main event of the day in the junior men category. The newly laid mountain bike track in Stellenbosch was fairly challenging for the young riders, but will no doubt serve as good preparation ahead of the national finals in Magaliesburg in 2 weeks' time.
At the prestigious Michaelmas Cricket Week in Maritzburg, there were a handful of schools that stood out from the rest. Affies, Pretoria Boys, KEARS and Grey College from Bloemfontein went unbeaten over the 4 days of exciting cricket. Leaving with an unblemished record is no mean feat, and all 4 sides recorded some big victories along the way. It should come as little surprise that all 4 of these sides feature in the top 10 of the school's cricket ranking after such a strong start to the new season. Meanwhile, at Cape Schools Cricket Week, it was Rondebosch and visitors from KZN Westville who made the big impressions, both schools coming away with their reputations enhanced. Rondebosch picked up 2 wins to go with 2 frustrating draws that cost them their perfect record at the week, while Westville were outstanding and recorded 4 wins in trying, unfamiliar conditions.
The St. Stithians Waterpolo tournament offered the first peek at what the school's first teams will look like in 2013. With no matrics involved in the big event, it was time for a new batch of stars to enjoy the limelight. All the usual suspects made it as far as the knockout stages, but then there was a shock when a Clifton side packed with SA under-18 stars was knocked out by the hosts, St. Stithians. 2 quality water polo sides in St. John's and Redham squared off in the final. St. John's emerged victorious, winning 10-8 in a tightly contested affair full of goals.
With the big event up next, it was time for Patrice Motsepe himself to make an appearance. The Mamelodi Sundowns owner wished the teams luck before the School of Excellence and East High did battle in the grand final. The 2 sides got off to a jittery, nervous start and struggled to make the most of the chances that were created. Almost from nowhere, East High capitalized on a defensive error and were in front through striker Muzi Tabota. School of Excellence fought hard to get back into the match and were finally rewarded with a goal from a curling effort from a Richard Moremi free kick. Both sides came mighty close to taking the lead before East High won a penalty after a handball in the box. Kulekani Masheho nestled the ball into the back of the net to give the side a 2-1 lead. With time running out, School of Excellence went onto the attack, and this time it was their turn to win a penalty after another disastrous handball to turn the game on its head. School of Excellence's Aubrey Modiba coolly slotted the spot kick to send the match into a nerve-wracking penalty shootout. School of Excellence made a dreadful start to the shootout, but a fantastic save from their goalkeeper, Mbulelo Ngobe, sparked a fight back. Player of the tournament, Paseka Sekebe, nicknamed Kaká, calmly scored much like his Brazilian hero might have done. With the pressure on, Ngobe produced another save to secure the title for School of Excellence to the jubilation of his teammates. East High's journey ended in disappointment, but they played some great football along the way. The coveted trophy goes to deserved champions, the School of Excellence. They were also to walk away with 1 million rand, a cheque to be invested in the legacy project of the school. So ends another successful chapter of the Sanlam K Motsepe Schools Cup.
Union High School recently hosted the 46th Cape Schools Cricket Week in Graafrenet, and our cameras were there to catch the action. As one of the oldest festivals in the country, the Cape Schools Week has a proud history of top-class cricket between some of the well-established schools in the Cape region. The hosts, Union High, were joined by fellow Eastern Cape schools, Grey High, Selborne, Queens and Dale, whilst Rondebosch, Paul Roos, Wynberg and Sachs made the trip up from the Western Cape. This year also saw a special invite extended to Durban-based Westville Boys High, who enjoyed a very successful trip, winning all 4 of their matches. After 4 days of grueling declaration cricket in the heat of the Karoo sun, we look back at some of the individual performances that caught the eye. Hayes van der Berg became part of an elite club last week when he took a hat-trick on the first day's play on the Patek field at Union High. The Rondebosch Boys High pupil got rid of the last 3 Dale College batsmen in consecutive deliveries to achieve the rare feat. Dale batted first and were in trouble from the outset, with the Bosch bowlers restricting them to 28 for 7. A fighting 8th wicket stand of 33 was brought to a rapid end with the introduction of Van der Berg, who by his own admission is more of a part-timer.
Well, actually I was trying to figure out if I should make a bet for the mid-on and mid-off whether I should shave my eyebrows. And I backed out a bit, but yeah, I had a feeling that I was going to take the wicket there.
Van der Berg finished with figures of 3 for 6 in the Dale innings and was at it again with the bat, top scoring with 37 to help guide Rondebosch to an easy 7-wicket victory. A fantastic way to end a memorable day for the 18-year-old. The very next day on the self-same Patek field, yet another Cape Town schoolboy excelled. However, this time it was Wynberg's David Bedingham who bludgeoned a magnificent 106 against Selborne College.
No, basically because usually we get quite a bad start, but today I came in 77 for 3 and I took my time at first, which I usually don't do, so maybe I should do this more often. And then as the bowlers got tired, I took advantage as much as I could.
Bedingham's fiery knock was nothing short of brilliant as Wynberg romped to 306 for 7 in 52 overs at lunch before declaring.
At Wynberg we play kind of like a lot positive cricket, so we try we don't want the teams to draw against us, so we try let them have a sniff so that they go for the score and not just block it out, so we get a result.
In reply, Selborne were in all sorts of trouble at 67 for 6, but some resistance from the tail and some indifferent fielding from Wynberg allowed the Selbornian tail to creep up to 181. Ultimately, it was Bedingham's ton that proved the difference between the teams as Wynberg claimed a resounding 125-run victory.
In part 1 of our 3-part series on making of a cricket bat, we visit master craftsman Dave van der Walt, who speaks to us about his history and involvement in bat making, as well as the unique qualities that set Black Widow apart from the rest.
We all love a brand new willow in our hands, but how much do you know about the piece of wood you're going to purchase? Is it the right weight for me? How long will it last? How many runs will I make with it? Dave van der Walt knows just how important it is for every cricketer, young and old, to have a bat with the correct pickup and feel that suits each individual player. He has been handcrafting cricket bats for more than 15 years, and we had the pleasure of taking a behind-the-scenes look at the bat-making process at his Black Widow workshop in Cape Town.
I played a lot of cricket and basically used to work for John Waite and Cilla Lynn in Joburg. Basically always wanted to be involved in sport. I came back to Cape Town, worked for Ian Trott at Varsity Sports. I got injured, so I couldn't actually play any more cricket at a decent top level. and I got the opportunity to go and do my apprenticeship at Hunts County in the UK in 1994.
Since starting Black Widow 4 years ago, Dave has continued making handcrafted bats with the same quality, care and passion that he is renowned for.
I've always wanted to have, top of the range bats, custom made for the club cricketer, provincial cricketer and the international. So, I just want to make sure I'm making a top bat at a reasonable price. The big difference is that we oil our bats. We make sure that they're oiled and they're pressed in one or two different ways. Okay, no other companies seem to oil bats anymore, which is actually doesn't make sense because of the climate conditions in South Africa and Oz and things like that. You actually need to seal these bats in. The other thing is we do make it very different to some of the Indian brands. We don't try to dry out the timber anymore. We only make small amounts at a time. So every piece of wood that comes in from the UK, those bats get made up as quickly as possible with the highest amount of moisture content inside of them. So when they go out there, they will last longer. And once again, as I say, all our bats are oiled and knocked in by ourselves to ensure that you as a customer are going to get a bat ready to play and not something that just has a sticker saying ready to play.
Next time, we'll take a look at part 2 of our Black Widow installment, where Dave will take us step by step through the entire process of making a cricket bat, from the log of imported English willow to the silky Black Widow blade that will put any bowling attack to the sword.
Looking ahead to the 2013 schoolboy rugby season, there's no better place to start than the Easter Rugby Festivals. There's been a definite shift towards KZN in recent years, and with the MARITZBURG College 150-year anniversary producing a special festival, this will be even more apparent. College will draw a number of big names, including the likes of Affies, Monument, Grey High and Waterpolo.
Also in the province is the KEARSNEY Festival, which has some strong sides in Paul Roos, Boland Landbou, Paul Gym, Outeniqua, Glenwood and the mighty Springbok factory of Grey College.
The traditional festivals in Johannesburg will also be on the go, with St. John's, St. Stithians and KEARS all drawing big crowds despite some of the regular visitors supporting the MARITZBURG event. St. Stithians is the oldest of the Easter festivals and remains an exciting event, with Bishops, Sax and Wynberg all making the journey from the Western Cape, while Pretoria Boys, Hilton and St. Andrews will add some additional clout. The St. John's Festival boasts teams such as Paul Boys, Waterkloof, Daniel Pienaar, together with international visitors St. John's Harare and Fulton College from the UK. KEARS is the third of the big Johannesburg festivals, but wherever you go at Easter, there's bound to be some terrific rugby action taking place. As usual, we are likely to be spoilt for choice when it comes to quality schoolboy rugby in South Africa. The traditional rivalries, derby days, bragging rights and the chance to top the rankings will all be upon us again very soon. Now it's time for our competition section. School Sports News and Black Widow have teamed up to give you the unique opportunity to win yourself a top-class handcrafted cricket bat. All you have to do is log on to our website www.schoolsportsnews.co.za and follow the easy online instructions and tell us why you deserve a new bat. In no time, you'll be walking down the track lambasting the bowlers to all corners of the ground with your custom-made Black Widow bat.